ML Sports Take brought to you by Welch & Company Jewelers and Stanley Law Offices. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bills Mafia, most of it anyway, irate with the fact that they traded with the Kansas City Chiefs down so that the Chiefs could go up to number 28 to get Xavier Worthy. Personally, I think this is more about the Bills than it is the Chiefs. All right, you have to think about that. You can say all day long, like, oh, you know, they're helping the Chiefs. It's more about what the Bills want to do than the Chiefs. Number two is the Bills were never going to take Xavier Worthy. Number three, the Chiefs probably still get him at number 32 anyway. Number four, we don't know about what the big boards look like from the Niners, the Cowboys, the Ravens, etc. But we know for a fact that Dallas wanted a lineman. They got Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. Nate Wiggins, a corner out of Clemson. Baltimore was searching secondary help in this draft. Ricky Pearsall's the interesting one for the 49ers because we don't know what they're going to do with Ayuk. You know, are they going to trade him and all the rest? That's an important one right there. I mean, were they looking more at Pearsall or were they looking more at Xavier Worthy? We don't know what their big board looks like, right? So just assume for a second that this trade doesn't happen and the whole draft happens exactly like it did, and there's 32, and there's Xavier Legette, and there's Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs are going to take Xavier Worthy. It's that simple. They were still going to get him. They just got him a different way, and it's a sour taste in Bills fans' mouths because the immediate thinking is, well, they gave Kansas City the opportunity to guarantee to get their guy, and we helped them get him. You can't look at it that way. You have to look at it like Brandon Beane wanted a trade partner to go down. Kansas City wanted to assure, apparently, to get their guy. You know, I still think they would have gotten him at 32, but they didn't want to risk it. We see this all the time in the NFL draft when a team goes, well, there's one team, maybe two teams ahead of us that want a wide receiver, but we don't know what their board looks like. That's the big thing. Will the Niners, you don't know what somebody ahead of you is going to take. You don't know what they're thinking. Why would you? Because everything's secretive, right? You're not going to go, well, let's assume the Niners take this guy and this guy goes here. We want our guy. We think we can get our guy. And a lot of times in the first round, especially with receivers, the team will pick their guy. But look, Brett Veach just said, I'm going to get up there just in case. Brandon Beane had a dance partner. He wants extra draft capital, and it happened to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, listen, trust me. The one thing that I'm with you on this, Bills Mafia, is that I never want to be a part of the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of a trade deal. Ever, 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 ever. They're the best. They're the smartest. They got the offense. They got Andy Reid. And remember the last time these two teams traded, it was Patrick Mahomes, of course, 17-10. Bing, bing. Trey White's a Bill. Patrick Mahomes is a Kansas City Chief. The rest is history. Now, I don't think Patrick Mahomes becomes Patrick Mahomes in Buffalo with the shit show that was there. I think he eventually finds greatness somehow, whether that's a little bit in Buffalo and then post-rookie contract somewhere else. But he's not the Mahomes of right now, and he certainly doesn't become the Mahomes that we know now as early after sitting behind Alex Smith. The Super Bowl MVPs, the Super Bowl wins, the playoffs, the numbers, the regular season MVPs, all of that, maybe it's cut in half. I don't know, but it's all got to come together, right? You got to have the front office, the head coach, the quarterback, all the pieces around you, the O-line, you got to be healthy. We've seen different flavors of this Chiefs dynasty as well. They trade Tyreek Hill, right? They got Travis Kelce still. They've had a bunch of wide receivers, and they still just won a couple of Super Bowls. So, look, I don't know if Xavier Worthy is going to be Tyreek Hill someday, but if he ever is anything close to him, and by the way, he isn't, the metrics are that he isn't quite as fast as Tyreek Hill by a big gap, okay? And also, he hasn't accomplished anything yet. He hasn't even played a down in the NFL, and guys his size always don't cut it in the NFL. Now, if there was one franchise that could change that and make history for the first time, yes, I'm betting on Mahomes and Reid and company to do that. However, history says he won't. Time will tell. But what I'm getting at is probably Xavier Worthy's taken anyways by the Kansas City Chiefs at 32. The bottom line is Brandon Beane saw an opportunity, a dance partner. He wants more draft capital. We also don't know what else he has in mind. Is he going to go out and get Ayuk? He loves that third-round spot. He didn't have a pick before. Now he does. Tremaine Edmonds and all that. What happened with the league, and he was super pissed at that. The Bills took a 6, made it a 5. Took a 4, made it a 3. They kept moving and grooving. And now, as you go into the second round, the Buffalo Bills, now beyond that also, they have a ton of capital, and they start off the second round, assuming they don't trade down. They have the first pick in the second round, 33 overall, and one of the best players on the board, Safety corner combo and Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. He reeks Micah Hyde. Special teams can return kicks, punts and kicks, corner, safety, culture, character, easy to plug and play all over the football field. He's a classic McDermott guy. Go look at his athletic background, his family background. He's a classic Buffalo Bill type. Maybe the Bills take somebody like that, then later on, there's still some pretty good wide receivers in this group. You can still get a guy in the second, third, fourth round. You know, you can still get a lot of really good players in here. I mean, I last I checked, there's still some players not named Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brian Thomas, who, by the way, that would have been the guy I would have traded up to get once the big three were gone. But you're not going to trade up 4 or 5 picks just to get Rome Odunze and hoping that he's the dude. That's way too much capital. Maybe 2 or 3, great, but you get into the 4 or 5 pick range, that's absurd. And Brandon Beane made note that he never really made calls to trade up and all the rest. He wants to get this draft capital for here and now and for next year, where he could maybe even make some bigger moves in 2025. But if you're a Bills fan today and you're irate and you're going nuts and you're tweeting like crazy to your 45 followers, take a chill pill and understand that there's a few things at work here. Brandon Beane still has work to do. He saw a dance partner. I know it doesn't help that it says KC, but that's how it worked, and he got some draft capital. It's more about the Bills than it is the Chiefs. Where I'm aligning with you is you never want to trade with them. You never want to be like, oh, no, if he does succeed, Xavier Worthy, Bills fans are always go, oh, we helped him get him. We helped this. We helped that. But he probably was going to go there anyway. You have to remember that. The only way he doesn't go there is if the 49ers change their opinion and say, we want Xavier Worthy over Pearsall. But we don't know what their big board looked like, and the Chiefs didn't know what it looked like either, and they didn't want to take the risk. It doesn't mean that it wasn't going to happen, right? But it's just, this is how these things go. They didn't want to take the risk, and, they assured it. They assured that they maybe assumed that they knew the big board. We don't know what the big boards look like. Okay, the big board probably looks like that, so we're going to get our guy. You can think that way, or their big board looks like that. I definitely got to get my guy and I got to pick up. I mean, it's one or the other. You can assume it and you get it, or you can assume it and then you have to go get it, right? That's kind of how I look at it. You assume it, you get it. You assume it, you go get it. As opposed to all these other theories and bullshit that are thrown out there. So that's kind of where I'm looking right now with this situation, and we'll go from there. But to kind of go crazy over this, I think is a little ridiculous as a sports fan, although sports fans are ridiculous. Mike Lindsley with you here. It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by CH Insurance, Burn Dairy, and Elevate Fitness of Syracuse. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.